Good afternoon. I'm Bowling Green Athletic Director Austin Leak, and I'm going to be discussing sportsmanship in today's presentation. Our topics of discussion are what is sportsmanship, administrators' role in sportsmanship, positive examples of sportsmanship, as well as unacceptable examples of sportsmanship. Merriam-Webster describes sportsmanship as conduct such as fairness, respect for one's opponent, and graciousness in winning or losing, becoming to one participating in a sport. Another definition that I found on sportsmanship was the conduct and attitude of participants in sports, especially when considered commendable, as in fair play, courtesy, and grace in losing. I believe that both of these quotes do a pretty good job of explaining sportsmanship, but obviously everyone has their own belief of what they think sportsmanship is all about. Administrators' role in sportsmanship. When thinking about administrators' roles in sportsmanship, these were the three things that I decided were probably the most important. Number one, the administrators need to lead by example. If you're not leading by an example as an administrator, then you really can't expect students to act in a proper way. Number two, I think you should create an environment where good sportsmanship becomes a habit. Number three, set strict guidelines for sportsmanship in which consequences are clearly stated. Some more specific duties that I believe administrators should provide as far as sportsmanship is concerned is I believe they should maintain order and enforce sportsmanlike behavior. They should provide sufficient supervision for all athletic events. They should provide, when necessary, additional security such as police to assist in maintaining order and safety at our athletic events at BGHS. It is the responsibility of the home team to assess the nature and extent of security that we need for the event. And designee will confer with the opposing principal prior to the start of the athletic event. Number four, be sure parents thoroughly understand what the school expects of its athletes and its spectators. Number five, take responsibility to inform parents, alumni, and other spectators of acceptable and unacceptable behaviors and to ensure that all spectators abide by these expectations. These should be covered in the preseason meeting anyway, so they should know these going in. Number six, establish and enforce consequences for students and athletes who violate expectations of sportsmanship at BGHS. All right, now we're going to talk about examples of acceptable sportsmanship. Number one, applause during introduction of athletes, coaches, as well as officials. Number two, shaking hands with opponents who fouls out while all fans recognize athletes' performance with applause. Three, accepting all decisions of the officials. Four, spirit leaders leading fans in a positive manner. Five, handshakes between principals and coaches at the end of a contest, regardless of the outcome or what happened during the game. Number six, acting in ways that treat competition as a game, not a war. Seven, coaches athletes searching out opposing participants to recognize them for outstanding performances. Eight, applause the end of a contest for performances of all participants. 9. Everyone showing concern for an injured athlete, regardless of the team that they participate for. And 10. Encouraging other people in attendance to display only sportsmanlike conduct. All right, now we're going to talk about examples of unacceptable sportsmanship. Number 1, using disrespectful, taunting, or derogatory yells, chants, songs, or gestures to any cheers or actions that gloat in victory. 2. Singling out individuals on an opposing team for derogatory or insensitive treatment. 3. Using any racial or sexual remarks. 4. Engaging in retaliatory cheers even if it is felt that the opposing school has violated the spirit or letter of this sportsmanship code. 5. Throwing of any objects onto or near the playing field. 6. Criticizing officials in any way or displays of temper with an official's call. 7. Using yells that antagonize the opponents. 8. Refusing to shake hands or to give recognition for good performances. Number 9. Blaming the loss of the game on officials, coaches, or athletes. And 10. Using profanity or displays of anger that draw attention away from the game. Alright, this is an example of the first handout that I'll give at our preseason parent-student meeting night. This handout gives examples of good sportsmanship as well as examples of poor sportsmanship. The second worksheet is a worksheet for our student athletes. This is our 10 sportsmanship commandments. These are 10 examples of things that we want to see in our athletes at Bowling Green High School.